Hi, my name is Jeff Walker. I'm a wildlife and landscape photographer based in Canmore, Alberta. Today, we're going to talk about a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I had to recreate a memory from a very young age. It started when I was about 4 or 5 years old. We were just ending a road trip. We had spent the week up in Jasper. We were coming down Highway 93. I don't remember much of this because I was asleep in the back seat of the car, but I remember being woken up by my mom. We were pulled off on the side of the highway and she rolled my window down. 10 feet away from me was a grizzly bear, but it was dark out, so it wasn't a bear like you're used to seeing. This was just the faint silhouette of a grizzly bear. That is a memory that sticks with you forever. Once I truly got into photography, I started doing annual trips up to Jasper. The first week or two of June, this was something that happened for over a decade. Year after year, I would do the same trip, but I remember always looking at my images thinking they were kind of the same as the previous year. So you do that enough times in a row and you start to think, how can I create something different? How can I create something truly unique? So this is where the memory from my childhood came back. 2018 was when I really started to study the night sky. Stars, planets, constellations, universes. I was alive shooting at night. So I thought, how do we take that type of photography and merge it with wildlife? That's where Project Dark Bear was born. Trying to photograph a bear under the full moonlight. So there was about 2 years of failed attempts on this project. Every month I would head out under the light of a full moon, try and track a bear in the day, but keep tracking it into the night. There were so many failed attempts that I didn't even know this was going to be possible, whether it was bad luck, bad timing, or not the right equipment. Turns out I realized that I didn't have the right technique and I didn't have the right equipment. So it's now 2020. I just purchased a brand new camera, brand new lens. Specifically, the only purpose for this combo was to take this image. So my buddy Glenn and I headed up to Jasper with the sole intention of sleeping in the day, staying up all night. We were going to photograph a bear under the full moon. So it was the third day and we came across this bear and we knew it was special. It was one of the biggest grizzly bears we'd ever seen. What was different about this bear was the fact that he didn't have a collar, he didn't have an ear tag. He was all on his own. It's super rare to have a bear that it doesn't have any form of identification. Finding the bear later that night was pretty easy. He hadn't moved very far. He had this abundance of dandelions everywhere and he was just grazing away. Now that we found him, that was the easy part. The hard part is actually tracking a bear as the night's fading to darkness. It actually got so dark before the moon came out that we lost him entirely. We lost him for about 45 minutes. It wasn't until the moon came up over the mountain range that we actually had eyes on the bear again. Even though we could only faintly see the bear, we knew he was close by just based on the sounds of the twigs and the branches snapping. So all my senses were heightened. I was holding up the lens, bear spray in the pinky finger, and I was starting to get excited. Not only the bear was close, but the shot that I've been dreaming of for years might finally be about to happen. So everything was coming together. He was walking towards me. I was trying to manually focus on his eyes, but the problem was I couldn't see his eyes. It was too dark. So what I had to resort to was trying to manually focus the lens on his claws. Luckily, it was a pretty marshy area and his claws were actually reflecting the moonlight. And then it all happened. He slowed down his pace and he was just about to raise his head to look up at me. That's when I snapped the photo. So the bear started to walk away. Glenn and I looked at each other thinking, is this it? Is this the shot? We couldn't really see as everything was so dark, so we actually just took off to camp and that's where we reviewed the photos. This is where the moment was solidified. We were looking through the photos, scrolling, watching it all unfold, and there it was. The bear was perfectly in focus. My arms were steady enough. Everything came together. The moonlight was perfect. It's a moment I'll remember for the rest of my life. Having this image in the gallery is super special to me. I get to share this memory with anyone that walks in the front door, kind of recreating one of the best memories of my life.